program so more people can be aware and also be blessed. Today, I have another topic for discussion, and it's the very interesting topic, and that is signs of an unhealthy relationship or marriage. Signs of an unhealthy relationship or marriage. How do you know this marriage is not healthy any longer? How do you know this marriage is sick? How do you know this relationship for those who are not yet married, who are planning to, who are courting or dating or planning to get married? How do you know this relationship is not working? How do you know this marriage is sick? These are the signs. I'll be listing them shortly. In the physical world, if someone is sick, for example, you're down with malaria, there are signs you present, or there are signs they present that tells you this person is sick and needs treatment. Malaria, for example, comes with headache, comes with high temperature, comes with nausea or vomiting, body pain, weakness, and all of that, and that tells you this person is down with malaria and they need intervention. In the same vein, if a marriage is sick or a relationship is sick, they present certain signs that tells you this marriage needs serious intervention. And one of those signs, or one of the signs of an unhealthy relationship or marriage, it's constant or frequent conflicts. Constant or frequent conflicts. Conflict is a disagreement between two or more persons. A disagreement between two or more persons. If you have a family or you have extended family also in that home, you have cousins, brother. That is, everybody's there. You can have conflict between husband and wife, between children, between father-in-law, mother-in-law, brother and sister-in-laws. Like they can all have conflict in a home. Conflicts are offenses that are unresolved. Offenses that are unresolved or unforgiving. Offenses that have not been forgiven. Conflicts are differences of opinion. Differences of opinions that have not been reconciled. I'm seeing through a lens, my husband is seeing through another lens. We have differences in our opinions, but we need to reconcile those differences. We need to come to a common ground. We need to find a common ground. Otherwise, we'll keep having conflict back to back. Conflicts are characterized by anger. You will always see anger where there is conflict, characterized by anger, characterized by resentment, displeasure, insults or affronts. Insults, affronts, displeasure, anger. That is what you find in a conflict situation where you see husband and wife insulting each other. Have you heard couple insult themselves before? I have heard. Where you hear people saying you are a bastard, you are a witch, you are a demon, you are the worst thing that has ever happened in my life. Like I regret ever marrying you. You begin to hear very offensive words and very heavy words, and you're asking, how come two persons who were once in love, the person was the bone of your bone, the flesh of your flesh, he was the sugar in your tea. How come he's not a witch? How come he's not a bastard? How come he's not a demon? What happened? That's the question you keep asking when you see heated conflict. Conflicts sometimes are unavoidable. At times, you really cannot avoid conflict or eradicate conflict entirely in your home. Why? Because marriage is a union of two different individuals. Two different individuals. They are different entirely with different perspectives, different feelings, different language, different personalities, completely different personalities with different orientation, different family background, different life experiences. They are coming from different places in life. They are coming from different backgrounds. They were raised by different parents, so they see things differently. They see things differently. A man and a woman, they don't reason alike. It has been proven. They don't reason. There's a way a man reason and there's a way a woman reasons. So if you don't understand these factors, you will always have conflict. Personality is also is a major cause for conflict in homes. You have different personality traits. Different personality traits. You have the sanguine or the cholerics. These are extroverts. They have different behavior or character. You also have the melancholy or the phlegmatic. This one, they also possess different character or behavioral pattern. So if you don't understand each other, you tend to have conflict back to back. But couples cannot eliminate conflict entirely, but they can minimize. You cannot completely eradicate conflict from your home. Why? Because you see things from different lenses. As a man, you reason differently. And as a woman, you reason differently. So at times, you tend to have little disagreement. But you can minimize the frequency of the conflict in your home. You can minimize it. If in your home or in a relationship as we speak, every day you are having disagreement, then that marriage is an unhealthy one. That relationship is an unhealthy relationship. Every day you sit down to talk, there is a problem. Every time you go on a date, there's a problem. Every day you call on the phone, there's a problem. You really cannot get along. That's a bad sign in a relationship, that if you're not yet married. But if you are married already and every day there's a problem, everything is causing problem, everything is causing problem, there is an issue. Your marriage is not healthy. It's not healthy. Frequent conflict is a sign of an unhealthy relationship. And beside the frequency of the conflict, the severity is also another thing worthy of note. The severity. How severe is the conflict? You can have a disagreement at home that is a mild disagreement, and it's quickly resolved. It's quickly resolved. There are also some other conflicts that are so severe, they begin to insult each other, and before you know it, they get physical with each other. They get physical, they start fighting, they start destroying things in the home. You can see the woman breaking television, the man smashing phones. Those are severe conflicts, and that is really a bad sign. If we, if you're the one, if you're listening to me right now, and your marriage is at this point, then there's a problem. There's a serious problem. If, as we speak now, you are in heated conflict, heated disagreement, heated misunderstanding, you need to work on your home. That's the first sign of an unhealthy relationship. And we must learn how to manage conflicts. You need to learn how to manage or resolve conflict for you to have a healthy relationship or marriage. You must learn how to manage conflict. You must be intentional about resolving conflict in your home. As a matter of fact, you must make up your mind. If you want your marriage to work, you must make up your mind like this marriage must work. It takes being intentional to make a marriage work. You must resolve to make peace a high priority. You must resolve to make peace a high priority in your home. Otherwise, you'll be having reasons to fight. You'll be having reasons to talk back. You'll be having reasons to get what you want or insist on what you want. There are homes that you have stubborn partners. They will insist it is my decision that will stand. And that's not a good one. If as a man you are a stubborn person, like this thing, it must be like this, there will be a problem. If as a woman, you're also a stubborn woman, I've seen very stubborn women, like it has to be like this, then there's a problem. There will be a serious problem in your home. And I want you to know that in every home, there's always a peacemaker and a peace dweller. In every home, there's always a partner who is a peacemaker. This peacemaker, they are the ones who initiate peace in the home. They are the ones who always make the move to initiate peace. Why? Because they don't want problem. They want this marriage to work. They want peace. Even when they are not wrong, they take the step. They take that initiative to say, honey, it's okay. Honey, please, 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 it's okay. We can afford to quarrel today. And we also have the peace dwellers. These ones, they rarely initiate peace. They even when they are wrong, they rarely initiate peace. They don't even apologize at all. They don't even when they are wrong. They don't want to apologize. They are still they are still stubborn. They are still adamant. They are still not remorseful. But they can welcome peace if you make the move and apologize even when you are not wrong. They will accept that apology, but they will never tell you I'm sorry. I want to ask a question. You listening to me right now? Which of the group do you find yourself? Are you a peacemaker or you a peace dweller? I want to know. Type type your answer right now in the comment section. Are you a peacemaker? Are you the one who always apologizes even when you are not wrong? Or you're the one even when you are wrong, you would never say sorry. That's the peace dweller. So which one of them are you? Are you a peacemaker or you a peace dweller? I want to know. Type your answer right now. At times in the relationship or in the marriage, you cannot control everything. You really cannot control everything, but you must learn to control what you can and leave what you cannot control. Just leave what you cannot control in for your peace to reign. And in managing conflict, you have to learn to nip it on the bud. Nip the conflict on the bud. That early intervention is critical to conflict management. Early intervention when something is beginning to degenerate, when something is beginning to become a problem, you quickly nip it on the board. Early intervention before it escalates. Why is this thing here? Who put this thing here? Why is this thing like this? Quickly resolve it. Because if you don't, just that issue will degenerate into something else, will escalate into something unthinkable. So there are 3 Ds for conflict management or resolving conflict or preventing conflict. There are 3 Ds I want to talk about if you want to quickly resolve conflict or prevent conflict in your home. The first D is decide. Make up your mind as a man, as a woman, make up your mind, decide like this peace must hold. I need peace in my home. I want a peaceful home. Our father, Bishop David Oyedepo, when they were doing the counseling, they asked him, what do you want in this marriage? He answered, I want a hitch-free marriage. I want a hitch-free marriage. I want a marriage that will be peaceful, a marriage that will be heaven on earth. And you may want to ask me, is that possible? Of course it is. It is possible to have peace in your home. It is very, very possible. That is when true persons make up their mind. Like, make up their mind that this thing will work. So he made up his mind even before entering marriage. Like, this marriage, there's not going to be quarrel. There's not going to be fight. There's not going to be argument. And if there is, we're going to resolve it right away. It's possible. It's possible if you're intentional, if you are ready and willing to make it happen. It is. So the first D is decide that at all costs there will be peace in my home. If you're a woman, you have to make up your mind right away. Decide that at all costs this marriage will be peaceful. Marriage is sacrifice. It's not a 50-50% thing. It's 100% sacrifice. 100% sacrifice. And you must be ready to apologize even when you are not wrong. That's marriage for you. You must be ready. There are many times I've said sorry, even when I didn't do anything. Like, you are thinking, what did I do now? What is happening now that you are making it an issue? And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. If you're angry, I don't know why you're angry, but I am sorry. Many times I have apologized even when I'm not wrong. So you must be ready to apologize even when you are not wrong, just for peace to reign. Just for peace to reign. That's if you really love or treasure your home. And I want you to know that studies have shown that 52% of divorcee, they regret their actions after 2 years. Yeah, 52% of people who are divorced today, they regret their actions after 2 years. Many of them regret, don't think they are happy. It's not easy being a single parent. Some were like, oh, if I had just apologized, if I had just said sorry, it wouldn't have gotten this bad. Just a simple "I'm sorry" would have ended or avoided this divorce. So you have to learn or make up your mind or decide for peace to reign at all costs. The next D is to discover areas of disagreement. Discover the areas where you always have disagreement as a husband, as a wife, or for those in a relationship or courting or dating as we speak. Discover the areas where you always have disagreement. As humans, we all have our values, our own interests, we have our likes and dislikes. There are things I don't like, and there are things my husband also don't like. So you have to discover what they don't like and avoid those things. Avoid those things. There are things your husband does not like, of course. And there are things as a wife you don't also like. So you have to sit down and discover the things your husband hates. And you have to learn to avoid those things. If you keep doing the things you know they hate, then there will be problem. There will be problem. A man met us of recent and was in pain. Was in pain. Like, my wife is so stubborn. He said the wife will always want to wear waist bead. This waist bead people wear, and will always want to put a nose ring, and will always want to do things and dress in a particular way he doesn't like. And he has told the wife, I don't like this waist bead. I don't like these things. And she keeps doing those things. How do you want the man to feel? Certainly, he will not be happy. Marriage, like I said earlier, is sacrifice. Marriage is sacrifice. If you are not ready to sacrifice in marriage, then you have no business in marriage. I'm telling you, if you are not ready to let certain things go or ready to adjust your lifestyle, then you are not ready for marriage. Marriage is 100% sacrifice to make it work. You must be willing to let certain things go in order to have peace in your home. So please, as you are listening to me right now, if you are always having conflict in your home, always disagree, you're always having constant, frequent disagreement, please sit down and find out what is causing this thing. What is it my husband does not like that I'm doing? What is it? And please be willing, be ready to make adjustment. The next D is to determine how to handle the areas of constant conflict. Determine to handle those areas. If you know the areas causing conflict or frequent conflict, then be determined. So the first D is to decide, the second is to discover, and then the third D is to determine, to make it work. The next sign of an unhealthy relationship is communication breakdown. That's the next sign of an unhealthy relationship. Communication breakdown. What is communication? It is interacting, passing across information, talking to each other. And that's what marriage is totally all about. That's what marriage is all about. What else will you be doing in marriage if you're talking to each other, communicating, passing across information? What else will you do? Communication is the engine that powers every relationship. Communication is the engine that powers every relationship. Every breakdown in communication leads to a breakdown in relationship. If there is no communication, then there's no marriage. If there's a breakdown in communication, then there's a problem in your home. That's really a bad sign. Like, I wonder what you do in a marriage if you're not communicating. What else will you be doing in your home if you're not communicating? Breakdown relationship is about relating, and relating is about communicating. So you need communication to make marriage work. There are signs of communication breakdown. How do you know there's a breakdown of communication in your home? How do you know that your communication is sick? How do you know it's sick? The first is silent treatment. Silent treatment. This is where people are keeping malice. Husband and wife keeping malice. Like, you don't talk to each other. That's a problem. You don't talk to each other. As a man, as a woman, you wake up in the morning, probably you won't have your own room. That one is even making the matter very, very bad. You have your own room as a man. She has her own room as a wife. You have spare keys. You have spare keys. So you wake up in the morning, you may say your prayers, you take breakfast yourself. You get dressed, you go out to walk. She get dressed, moves out also. Lock your door with your separate keys. You come back, probably eat outside, come back, bathe and sleep. Nobody's talking to each other. I've seen couples who kept malice for 3 weeks. Some even more. I don't know how long. If you're keeping malice as you speak, I don't know how long yours have lasted. But you have to answer that question. How long do you keep malice in your home? That's a bad sign. That's a bad sign. God forbid you're in your separate room and you lock your door and you have another attack in that room. How will you find help? How will you find help? What are you doing in a separate room with your door locked up? What are you doing? How do you feel comfortable in a house you are not in talking term with your spouse? I don't know how you survive such a scenario. I don't know how it got that bad. I don't know how it got that bad that you are keeping malice with your spouse. That's really not healthy. That's really a bad sign. Really, really a bad sign. Silent treatment, stonewalling. The next is absent mindedness. Some are in talking terms, but they are not really talking. Someone is talking, but the other is not listening. You are not hearing what is being said. You are not hearing what is said. Are you with me? Yes. You're just nodding your head, but you are not there. Your heart is not there. Communication it takes is a heart to heart connection. Your heart needs to be there for you to understand what your partner is saying. So where you are just there nodding, yes, I'm there, yes, I can hear you, but you are not there. Body, soul, and spirit, you are not there. There's a problem. There's a problem. If you are not in talking terms with your husband, that marriage is sick. That marriage is sick and needs repair. You need to work on your communication. You need to repair your communication. It has to be opened. Your communication line has to be opened. Your husband goes to work, you don't even bother calling to know how he is, how the day is going. Your wife is out there, probably she traveled. No phone call for 3 days. No phone call for 1 week. They go, they come back. You don't even care. You don't bother. It shows something is not right. People in love, you always know people in love by the level, the frequency of communicating. They want to hear each other. They want to. You can't stay a day without listening to the person you say you love. You are not comfortable. You want to make a call. You want to know how their day is going. That's a sign of a relationship that is working. If your husband leaves for 2 days or even a day, even within the day, find out, make out time to call, to check up on them. If it's not happening, then there is a problem that needs to be repaired. And in repairing communication, one person should just take the bold step by starting up a conversation in a lighter mode. You've not spoken with each other for 3 weeks and you want to start, you want to open the communication line, start on a lighter mode. How was your day? Good morning, my dear. How was your day? How did it go? Like just start up on a lighter mode and review the reason for the communication breakdown. You need to sit down. That marriage takes maturity. Marriage takes maturity. You need to be matured enough to sit down, to review the cause of the communication breakdown. You need to sit down as two matured adults. Sit down. Even children don't keep malice. Children, they have misunderstanding this minute. The next minute you see them playing. The next minute they are hugging each other. How come two grown adults will be in the house, not in talking terms? That shows they are still they are not even children, because children don't keep malice. I don't know how to play or where to place them. So you need to open the communication line by starting up with a lighter in a lighter mode and sitting down to review the cause of the communication breakdown. And when you are doing that, please try to avoid defending yourself. When you want to open the communication line, that's not the time to defend yourself like you are the one wrong. You're the one not wrong. You're the one right. Marriage is not 50-50. I'm right, you are wrong. No. At times you just let go and let go. Let go of offenses. You have that maturity. Let go of offenses. That's the sign of maturity. Letting go, ability to let go of offenses or defending yourself or to always prove a point. You are not in competition. Marriage is not competition. I'm the one right, you're the one wrong. No. Who is marking this? Who is taking who is putting down the scores? Nobody. It is for you to enjoy life. That's marriage. It's a blessing. It's a gift from God to man, not about competition. No. It's working as a team. A healthy relationship, there's unity, there's synergy, there's alignment of purpose and value. That's what it takes. Communication, you don't want to know who is wrong or who is right. Just be on the same page. That's what we need. The next sign of an unhealthy relationship is lack of trust. Lack of trust. This one is, if you don't trust your partner, then the marriage is gone. If you don't trust the person you are in the same house with, that marriage is gone, completely gone. Like it is gone. You might be together officially, but there is nothing binding you together. Nothing. You don't trust the person you are with. There's always suspicion. The marriage is gone. The marriage is gone. Trust is very, very important in a healthy marriage or relationship. Very, very important. What is trust? It means relying on the integrity, the ability, and the strength of a person. You believe the person of integrity. You believe the person's ability, the person's strength. The person is transparent. I'll read the scripture now, and that's Genesis 2:25. Genesis 2:25 is a beautiful scripture. The Bible said they were both naked, the man and the wife, and they were not ashamed. They were both naked, the man and the wife, and they were not ashamed. This is talking about transparency, 100% transparency. They were both naked, nothing to hide, transparency, like you are transparent head to toe. There's nothing to hide, there's no secrecy of any form, there's no deceit, there's no dishonesty, there's nothing to hide, nothing to protect, nothing to preserve, nothing to preserve, nothing to hide, no deceit, no dishonesty, no lies. No lies. If you are a liar as a man, there's a problem. Your marriage is sick. If you can still comfortably tell lies to your wife, that home is sick. You are somewhere else in a wrong place with friends drinking, and you tell your wife, I'm in church, I'm in prayer band, or you tell your wife, I'm still at work. I'm still at work, and you know you are not there. There's a problem because every day for the thief, every day you keep telling lies. One day it will be exposed. There's nothing hidden under the sun that will not be revealed. There's nothing hidden that will not be exposed. Even if you are a cheating man or a cheating woman, even if you are cheating, lack of trust, even if you are cheating, one day it will be exposed. It will be exposed. It will be exposed. So I don't know, if the trust is broken, then your marriage is sick. Seriously sick. When you trust each other, you can reveal your deepest secrets. Where trust is present, there's no secret to hide. You can share knowledge together. You can transfer valuable information. There's no information you cannot reveal on. There's no information you cannot share or transfer to your spouse. No secrecy of any form. The phone is one very one serious problem. The phone in the home is a serious cause of problem, of conflict in homes today. This phone is a serious problem, where you see people using code, using password to lock up their phones. Wife cannot access your phone. Your husband cannot access your phone. I don't know what you are passwording. What are you locking? What are you hiding in that phone? At times they have said women should have heard that statement, like women should learn to leave their husband's phones alone if they want peace. You that is saying leave your wife should leave your phone. What are you hiding in that phone? That's the question I'm asking you. Each time I hear that statement, what is it in the phone that the man is hiding? Your phone should be should be you have to have the ability to drop your phones without having hypertension, without having BP. I heard a woman said the husband was in the betting room and he forgot how to lock the phone. The phone was ringing. He ran out from the betting room with foam, with soapy body. ran out to go and hide the phone. Not wondering who was calling. Thank God you did not slip off on the towel and break your head. Like, what are you hiding? What are you hiding? So, husband and wife, please learn to be naked, learn to be open, learn to be transparent with nothing to hide and not be ashamed. So, your phones, if you cannot take a call in the presence of your spouse, then there's a problem. Your phone is ringing and you cannot pick up that phone and answer that call. Then there's a problem. You want to enter under the bed, you want to run to the kitchen, you want to run to the backyard, you want to run to you want to even enter a hole. You want to enter a hole, enter the toilet, the bathing room just to answer a call. That call you cannot answer in front of your spouse. Then there's a problem. There's a problem. Texting, receiving calls, you can't answer in front of your spouse, then there is a problem. A couple met us, or a man met us complaining bitterly. In fact, that man, I was so heartbroken when I saw the tears of that man. He was so heartbroken. And it was like the wife will always password her phone. The wife will password her phone. And one day he summoned up the courage to challenge the wife and like, open up this phone today. You have to, I want to know what is here that you're hiding. And when he insisted and tried all the password and all the patterns and finally opened that phone, he was heartbroken. He was heartbroken. He was heartbroken. Like he saw the conversations with the wife or with his wife with another man. With another man. I have heard people cheat. I have heard a man cheat. I've heard women cheat. But this one I saw for the first time, like I was reading the conversation with another married man. You are a married woman with 3 children, and you are testing a man, calling him my heart, calling him Obimo, calling him that is. I was shocked. I was shocked myself, and the man was all in tears. All in tears. And I was talking to the woman. Thank God we were able to counsel them and brought them back together. I counseled the woman, like, what was it? What was it? I'll make another video on avoiding or falling into the trap of being entangled or into or fall into an emotional relationship with another person. That will be for another time. But what was it? What was it that will make you sin thrives in secrecy? When you begin to hide certain things, then danger is looming. Danger is the sound of danger is just the drum of danger is beating and is sounding. When you are hiding something, when you want something to hide, then there is sin somewhere waiting to embarrass you, waiting to disgrace you. Infidelity thrives in secrecy. When you start hiding your phones, passwording things, you look suspicious. You make people suspect you. When you start acting that way, you make people even suspect you. You make people suspect you, and there's no reason for infidelity. There's just no reason for infidelity. A woman with 3 children, what was it? And when I interviewed her, she began to open up. The man doesn't give me money and this and that, but that's still not enough reason. That's still not enough reason to go out. It's not enough reason to go out. Money should not be the reason to cheat on your spouse. Make your marriage work by avoiding secrecy. Build your trust. And if you are listening to me right now and your trust is broken, like you have committed, they've caught you red-handed, like they've caught you red-handed. You know you have messed up. The marriage can still work again if only you open up to forgiveness. Like I will always say, marriage is a school for 2 forgivers. Like is a school for forgiveness all the way. 100% forgiveness, because offenses must come. Offenses must arise. But you have to be ready to learn forgiveness. You have to be ready to forgive. If as we speak now, you forgive your spouse. If as we speak now, you forgive, then your marriage will work. That marriage can still bounce back. If only you are remorseful And if only you learn to build trust again, trust can be built, but you have to be intentional. You have to be ready to make you have to work on it. It's a work in progress by being transparent. By being transparent. If you've been caught red handed, learn to apologize and mean that apology. Learn to apologize and mean the apology. Like, be sincere, be genuine, be real. You know, you've hurt somebody, like infidelity hurts. It hurts, it tears someone apart. Like, it's hot, it's painful, really, really painful. So you have to own up and you have to learn to build or rebuild trust once again. The next sign of an unhealthy relationship is lack of intimacy. Lack of intimacy. I'll go from the beginning again. I said frequent conflict. Frequent conflict is the first sign. The next one is communication breakdown. The other sign is lack of trust, and now we are in lack of intimacy. Communication, like I said earlier, is the engine that powers the relationship. Why intimacy is the oil that lubricates the relationship. Communication is the engine. A car without an engine will not move. That's communication. Whereby the engine is pressing and there's no oil, the car will still not move. So they are both very important. Communication is the engine, intimacy is the oil that lubricates the engine. And what is intimacy? That's quality romance. Quality romance in your home. That's the spark. That's the fire that keeps your marriage burning. That's the spark that keeps it burning, that keeps it going. Quality romance and intimacy between husband and wife will reduce conflict. When there's quality romance, it will reduce the conflict in your home. Without intimacy in your home, the engine of your relationship will run very rough. The engine will be very rough. The body will run so slow. It will run slow, it will be rough, and it will ultimately grind to a halt. It will ultimately break down completely. Without engine and without an oil in the engine, the marriage will gradually grind to a halt. The marriage is just a matter of time. It's only a matter of time, and that marriage is completely gone. Only a matter of time, and the marriage is completely gone without intimacy. You cannot survive without intimacy. Marriage cannot survive without intimacy. More intimacy enables couples to thrive and survive. You have different kinds of intimacy or types of intimacy. There's the physical or emotional intimacy. The physical or emotional intimacy. This talks about understanding each other's feelings. Understanding each other's feelings. Where there's no feeling for each other, that marriage is gone. You're only officially married. You're only officially married. Physical intimacy, that's touch. Physical touch. There are some persons whose love language is physical touch. You have different kind of love language. You have the physical touch. You have the act of service. You have the words of affirmation. But there are some whose love language is physical touch. Like, they need that physical touch. You need to hug each other frequently. Physical kisses. If you are married and there's no touching, there's no kissing, there's no hugging, what are you doing in the house? Like, what else will you be doing? No hugging, no touching, no body contact, nothing. That marriage is dry. The relationship will be very boring. It will be very, very boring. Physical touch, hug, and even sex. That's the climax of physical intimacy. Sex in marriage is the oil that lubricates the marriage. If it is not there, then there's a problem. If sex is missing or is absent in your marriage as we speak, if there's no medical problem, there's no medical reason for it, it's just not there, then there is a problem. There's a serious problem. A man met us recently and was in pains. He was in pains. He came for counseling and he opened up and was talking and talking. But the part that struck me, he said, as we speak, since January this year, they've not had intimacy. That it is not a no sexual relationship between himself and his wife. And I was like, sir, what did you just say? What did you just say? Did you say January? And I started counting. I helped him in counting like January, sir, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and now we are in September. Then what are you doing? I was asking. Then what are you doing? He said the woman will just lock up. The woman is so stubborn. The woman will just lock up and probably want to use sex to punish him. And as we speak, he's going out. As we speak, he's having an affair outside. Like he can't stay. And do I want to blame him? We tried talking him, tried talking to the wife. The wife said, no, 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 no. She's not interested and all of that. If there is no sexual intimacy, the marriage is as good as gone. Like it is going gradually. It's only a matter of time for it to be completely gone. And how long can a man stay? How long can a woman hang on or hold on? So please, if you're a woman and a man is not longer disturbing you, please find out there's a problem. Don't say, thank God, don't carry one ago. No. don't say thank God. I know women. Women, that's all. It's about the last thing on the woman's mind. Like it's not really easy. Marriage is sacrifice. Like when you've done it, you're busy, you had a busy day. It's about the last thing on your mind. I understand that fact. It's about the last thing on your mind. Like you've cooked, you went to market, you come back, cook, you've washed, you've done all the household chores, and your body, all you want to do now is just to sleep. It's about the last thing on a woman's mind. But for a man, if he doesn't disturb you for 1 week, 1 month, 2 months running, like the man has not asked for his food, no, there is a problem. Just know that there's a problem. And you need to intervene, like you need to resolve that problem quickly if you treasure your home. That's if you want your home to work. You need to work on that quickly. If there is no sexual intimacy, there is a problem. No hugging, no kissing, no, that is no romance. The marriage is dry and boring. Dry and boring. You also have spiritual intimacy. Spiritual intimacy, that is oneness in the spirit, spiritual fire, spiritual fervency. When last did you pray together as a family? Asking a question and I want you to answer me right away. When last did you pray together as a family? There's a saying that says a family that prays together stays together. A family that prays together bonds together. They are strong. There's no crack in between. They bond very well. There's the bond is 100%. If you pray together, so please, if you are praying separately, that's not a good sign. You're a man, you wake up, you pray your own. The woman prays her own. The children, they're on their own. That's not a good sign as a family. Please learn to come together. As a man, you have to know that you are the priest of your home. You are the head of that home. So rise up, wake up, and accept that responsibility as being the head, the spiritual leader of your home. Don't relegate that duty to your wife. Many men are missing in this area. They are lacking. They are missing it. They are missing out in this area. They are not. They are not. They are. You need to wake up as a man. You need to wake up. There are men who sit down at home on a Sunday morning, like my wife is going to church. Children, follow mommy to church. Follow mommy to church, and you at home doing what? That's an upside down operation. I'm telling you. That's an upside down operation. If you're a man, you are at home on a Sunday morning. I don't know what you are looking for. I don't know why you are in the house. I don't know why you are in the house. You need to wake up. Wake them up for morning devotion. That's your assignment. Wake them up and take your place as the spiritual head. Pray together and stay together. Another is social intimacy. Social intimacy, where you enjoy each other's company. You enjoy each other's company. If you are not enjoying the company of your spouse, then there's a problem. You don't like staying together. You are at home, and the man is in the sitting room, and the woman is in the bedroom. Like you are just there pressing phones, or even when you are together, you don't enjoy the company. You are not together. You don't enjoy each other's company. You are pressing phone, and other distractions are tearing you apart. Then there's a problem. If you are not enjoying each other's company, or you don't get along even when you are together. In a relationship, as we speak, you are not yet married. But whenever you come together, there's a problem. Whenever you come together, anytime you're out on a date, there is problem from one to another. From one, there's a problem. That means it shows you're not compatible. There's a problem. There's a problem. You have to get to a stage in marriage where you are bonded. Like you are bonded, your soul becomes one. Get to that point in marriage where you understand each other. At times you pick up a phone to call. I'm like, I was about calling you. That means you are bonded in soul, body, soul, and spirit. You're becoming one entity. Becoming one entity. You have to enjoy each other's company. If you hate to be around each other, then there's a problem. Or you can't get along when you are together. There's a problem. I listened to someone of recent, and the person made me laugh like and it brought out a very real life scenario. Like this holiday is the longest holiday for children. This August period is the longest holiday for children. And he said his children went out or he took them out for holiday in another place, and he was alone with his wife. He was alone. I'm sure it's the same thing, the same scenario during the lockdown where people were forced to stay together. Like if you are married and you are both working, you just take off in the morning, and the man takes off the woman out or so to work, and you come back in the evening. You are both tired. You are both tired. You just eat and you sleep, and you just bathe and sleep. The next day you are out. You really would not know how healthy your marriage is until you are forced to stay together, like what the lockdown did to many homes. So this man said his children, he sent them out for holiday, and on holidays, and he was alone with his wife. And for the first time, he understood the main reason for marriage. What's the main reason? Why did God institute, or why did God created or made marriage? The main reason was for companionship. At times, you counsel people who want to get married, and you ask them, why do you want to be married? And tell you, I want to get married because I want children. But the man said for the first time, he understood that the main reason for marriage is not because you want to have children. It's not because you want to have children. Now the children are out on holidays, and he was face to face with his spouse. And he began to learn real life lessons. He said, that this is the time he knows he had to bond with this woman. Like you are now together. And if you don't know how to bond now that you are together, like if it doesn't bond, is it in old age? Is it during old age? He was saying it, and I was just picturing what he was saying. Like, I was just imagining. If you don't know how to get along with each other as husband and wife, very soon the children will all be out of that house. They will all grow up and go to school, and from school they get married, and it will be down now to both of you. It will be you'll be back to each other. And if you do not build companionship, then there will be a problem. You will be lonely in that house. you will be you're lonely in that house. So he brought out a very vital lesson. Brought out a very vital lesson of you building companionship with your spouse. Enjoy each other's company. That's the only thing to enjoy in marriage. Enjoy each other's company. Learn to avoid the things that brings about distraction. Things like phones, things like television. Have time that you are just alone, alone moments with just you and your spouse, and bond. You have to learn, be intentional with bonding. Companionship, it's very important. So if you can stay alone and you are okay, then there is a problem. If you can stay in your room, and if your spouse comes in, is acting like a distraction, it's come like a disturbance, then your marriage is sick. So if you have all the signs or you have one of them in your home, be intentional. Be ready to make it work. Marriage is beautiful. Marriage is a gift from God to man. People at times they want to downplay what God has done by making careless statements like marriage is a scam, men are scam, marriage is not worth it. If it's not working, get out. No, marriage is a beautiful institution. The beautiful institution. And if you are a single right now, please speak correctly. Pick correctly because it takes a working team. It takes a working team to make marriage work. If you pick wrongly, then there will be a problem. If you pick wrongly, then there will be a serious problem. I pray for you today as a single that God will help you pick rightly. And if your marriage is sick, I pray for divine intervention. I pray for the grace also for you to sit down and resolve the issues. Sit down. God won't do it for you. You have to sit down and be intentional in making your marriage work. Thank you so much for joining us in today's program. I hope you have been blessed, and I want to see your marriage bounce back and become more exciting and more lively. God bless you. Thank you so much. You are blessed.